Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are well. Today we are working on this bright green halo eye. I done this look for Christmas Eve. I don't wear any makeup on Christmas. I don't know about y'all. Well, Christmas Day. We just get up early, do presents, I cook, you know, so I don't really have time for makeup. So this is the look I came up for Christmas Eve. I know it's a bit late. I still wanted to share it and I still wanted to do a chatty get ready with you. Also, if you want to see a look on this look here I did on Thanksgiving, please let me know because I've been saving these photos to share them with you and I love it. And I'm going to talk a little bit about makeup in this video and a little bit about other things. It's going to be a chatty get ready with me, but I am using some new products that I wanted to shed light on. LA Colors, a face mist, and a lip balm. And this is the new AOA Studios soft base or eyeshadow base. And look how thick and yellowy this is. It performs okay. The eyeshadows are bright and vibrant all day, but I have noticed a couple times using it, it's made some of my eyeshadows not stick in certain spots, and I'm not sure if it actually was the primer, but I'm leaning towards the primer because it's the only thing I changed new in my routine, and the shadows I was using otherwise performed fine. So I don't know. You'll see it in this too, like the green's a little bit not wanting to grab in certain spots. So now for eyebrows, that was the LA Colors eyebrow pencil, the Browy Wowie. I love this pencil. I believe it's being discontinued. I'm not entirely sure, but this palette or the eyebrow pencil is great. This is a Rimmel concealer trio thing. I've had it forever. I only use the brightener concealer in it for my brows, and we're going to be using the ColourPop Just My Look. Now I'm going to be taking all kinds of different shades from this palette and doing a halo eye. So here is where I wanted to start talking about a few things. I mean, through some of the eyeshadow stuff and through some of the products that really aren't new. I love these ColourPop eyeshadows, by the way. They are great. They are amazing. These palettes are amazing. And I thank you again, Stephanie, for sending them to me because otherwise I'd never tried ColourPop, and why have I not? Because they're awesome. So, random. This is totally random, okay? So this goes along with, you know, just thinking in your head. But there are some underrated actors I wrote down. I don't know if some of you will agree with some of these or not. And I probably forgot some to put on my list. But I just wanted to quickly go through the list of who I think is underrated actors. Number 1 is Jim Varney. He is so awesome. If you don't know who that is, it's Ernest. You probably know him as Ernest. Taken from this world too soon. He is amazing. We love Ernest in this house. Another one for me is Michael Rooker. He plays Merle in The Walking Dead. He plays in Slither. He plays in Cliffhanger. He plays in a bunch of different things, actually. A bunch of movies I've seen him in. But I feel like you don't hear much from him or about him. And I really actually like Michael Rooker. Also Matthew Lillard, yeah, pretty famous for Scream, of course. The SLC Punk movie, I believe this is called. I like 13 Ghosts. I like him as Shaggy as well. But you don't hear a lot about him. You know, a lot of these actors step back. They're just fine. You know, they're not always wanting to be in the limelight, and that's fine as well. But I really, really like Matthew Lillard. Yes. Steve Buscemi. Yes. Like, you hardly ever hear about him. He's hardly ever in a main role. One of my favorite roles is definitely in Con Air, and I like him in Grown Ups. Ben Foster is the next one. You hardly ever hear about him either. He plays in Lone Soldier and Alpha Dog. He plays in a lot of different things as well. But I really, really like Ben Foster. I've always liked every movie I've actually seen him in. Frankie Muniz. I had to mention Frankie because even though he doesn't really do much of anything now, I don't believe, but I just love Malcolm in the Middle, and I don't think a lot of people like that show. but I really do. Bryan Cranston, I think that he is in the main limelight and he does a lot of things and lots of people like him, but I don't see a lot of talk about him. And I really like Bryan Cranston. And Woody Harrelson, I do think that he is in the limelight. He continues to do movies and things like that, but I don't hear a lot about him. So those are some of my favorite underrated actors. Well, what I would consider underrated. We're putting this look together, and you can see the thought process in this look as well. Like, I started out with different shades in the inner outer corner, and then I went in, I darkened that up and changed it and done some things to the inner and outer corner. And basically I'm just repeating it on the next eye, because even though you cannot see this first shade, I did it on the other eye, so you best believe we're going to do it on this eye. So we're just going to continue to work through this. And next, before we hit some of the other new products that I have, I wanted to talk a little bit of crime chat. And maybe we'll talk about one of these cases in a next true crime kind of video, if you want that. If you don't, then let me know as well if you're not interested. But let me know if you are interested. Some cases that really drive me nuts are some of these cases I'm going to mention. And this number one, and these aren't in any particular order, but I just want to mention this one first, is the Scotty Baker case. Even though we know the rhyme, the reason, the motive, all that stuff behind this case, it still was completely inexcusable. No murder is ever, you know, unless I guess you're defending yourself, like, you know, in that sense, okay? But these that I'm talking about are senseless murders, and none of those are excusable. And the Scotty Baker case, if you didn't know, I've mentioned it a few times in other videos, but my uncle was dating this woman, and she was my babysitter too, and they went on later on to take the life of a little boy. Anyways, I'm going to put a link. You can watch that case. You can hear me talk about it. Also, if you'd like, I'd do a video on that. So I'm going to pause real quick here, and this is the new Blur face primer from AOA Studio, and this is supposed to give you like a matte velvety kind of smoothness to your skin. I only applied it to the parts where I really needed some texture coverage. I think it did an alright job. I didn't feel the pores or make my skin as smooth as I would have definitely liked it, but it did do its job, and I didn't have any incredible crazy wear or anything. The next item also is this is their new Silly Wonder sponge that they launched. They come in different colors. I picked up the yellow one. This is, I have to say, a strange sponge. It's okay. I've used it 4 times now. This is the very first time I used it in this video. I do think that it doesn't soak up as much product. I do think that the places that you use the silicone sponge part of it definitely gives you more of a fuller coverage with your foundation or concealer, whatever you're using, but it is gonna take some time getting used to because it's a little bit hard in my opinion, and it doesn't blend out as nicely as I would like. I prefer using the regular sponge. As you can see there, you can still see some texture on my face and stuff, so the primer is just okay, and the sponge is just doing an okay job as well. I'm using the softer end of the sponge now to apply my concealer, but I will say after using the sponge 4 times, I'm used to that hard silicone. It's not hard, but it's just a different texture from the other side of the sponge. So I ended up using, that sponge was difficult to use under the eyes, so I used an AOA Studio mini blender, and this is the AOA Studio Loose Face Soft Light Powder. Incredibly finely milled powder, very nice, and I love this powder. So the next case also that drives me crazy is the Canada Greyhound bus case. That case is wild. If you have not looked into it, and you're a little bit squeamish and stuff, definitely maybe watch it during the day, not at night, not alone. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty intense case as well. Tyler Stice is a missing persons case, and when I first found out about this case and watched a bunch of stuff on it, I literally went down the rabbit hole. Like, this case, a missing person case, is crazy. I don't understand how people just get up and they're just missing. You know, like, yeah, in some cases they want to be missing or whatever. I think most of the time foul play was involved, or they just got lost on their hike or whatever it might be. I don't know, but that stuff drives me nuts. And if you don't have this AOA Studio Darling blush, these blushes are so good. At first, I didn't know what to think about this product because it's really hard to get picked up on the brush. But once I started using it, it's my favorite brush or blush ever. Another case that drives me nuts is the Skylar Niece case. Come on, really? Completely senseless. And one of the main ones that drive me nuts, even though we do have a little bit of more answers now regarding this case, is the Spreckles Mansion case. Yes, you know that place is up for sale. Who would want to buy that mansion? Like, if you haven't looked into any of these cases, please do. If you want a separate video on a true crime chat on one of these, just let me know. The Spreckles Mansion, you guys, is wild. Also, it's very crazy. 2 deaths within a week of each other in the same house and under rather peculiar circumstances. So yeah, this AOA Studio lip liner in vintage, absolutely loving. I just got that. This is the metallic lip in Naughty, I believe it's called, from AOA Studio, and it's metallic red. It's absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with this lip color right now, as well as that new lip liner I got. It's nice and creamy, bold, and pigmented. This is the Believe Beauty Caviar eyeliner I'm going to tightline with, and are you just loving how this look came out? Like, I literally am obsessed with green looks. I'm using a red Maybelline eyeliner in the waterline. I debated on this, but I just said, you know, screw it, it's Christmas, let's go for it. So we did. So most of the time when I'm doing makeup, oh, these are new lashes, not new, but new to me, Maryland lashes from AOA Studio. They're so natural and dainty. I love them. It took a while for the glue to dry, so you'll see the glue throughout the video, because I got it on the actual lash part and not just the band. And I'm usually jamming out to music during these videos and stuff, so I want to link some songs that I've been loving in the description box below for you guys to hear as well. Also, a band that I was listening to during this is called Him, and I believe they're known as also as Her in the United States, and Vil Valo's voice is amazing. Also, really love Him. And who grew up watching Band? Yeah, me here, guilty. I still actually like Band. And that's where I learned of Him from. And amazing if you don't know who Him is. And Lil Peep, I always mention about Lil Peep, but I love his voice. He is an emo rapper, and Him is love metal. So, you know, if you like those two things, definitely check those two guys out. And yeah, here's our finished look. I hope you enjoyed the Chatty Get Ready with me. I wanted to touch base on a little bit of new products and things like that, and I wanted to share some thoughts that's been in my brain. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already. Check the description box for a product list as well as other links. And thank you so very much again for watching.